Good morning. I am Aaron Allen, the principal of Northridge High School. Welcome to the commencement for the class of 2025. Standard bearers, please get ready. Northridge High School Grizzlies, class of 2025. Are you ready? Parents, guardians, families, friends, and honored guests, we present to you the Northridge High School class of 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in thanking the El Jabel Shrine Pipe Band for leading our procession this morning. Also, please silence your cell phones and noisemakers until the conclusion of the ceremony. Now may I have you please stand and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem by the Northridge Band and the presentation of the colors by the Northridge High School Marine Corps JROTC Color Guard. The Color Guard will be commanded by Cadet First Sergeant Jacob Roblero, with Color Guard members Cadet Lance Corporal Dalen Roberts, Cadet Corporal Marcos Morales, and Cadet Corporal Luis Valles. Please remain standing until the colors have been retired. Please be seated. It is my pleasure to welcome and introduce our guests and administrators for our commencement ceremony. Board of Education President, Natalie Mash. Board of Education Vice President, Kyle Bentley. Board of Education Director, Doran Azari. Board of Education Director, Brenda Campos-Spitzy. Board of Education Director, Rob Norwood. Board of Education Director, Michael Matthews. Superintendent, Dr. Deirdre Pilch. Assistant Superintendent of Secondary Schools, Anthony Osmus. Assistant Superintendent of Human Resources, Annette Overton. And Director of Curriculum Instruction, Dagan Andrews. Assistant Principal Jeff Collins. Assistant Principal Megan Korpanik. Assistant Principal Rachel Weber. Dean of Students Jeremy Ramsdell. Thank you for joining us today. Before we continue, you may notice an empty chair with our graduates. This seat is to honor the students who would have graduated with the class of 2025, but are no longer with us. Though they are not here in person, they remain a part of our Grizzly family. At this time, I ask that we observe a brief moment of silence in their memory. Thank you. Next, I would like to thank those who have helped us make today possible. Our tireless office staff, who did an amazing job preparing for today's event, the District 6 grounds crew for doing an excellent job preparing the field, the District 6 communications team for their assistance with sound, logistics, and our live stream, and to Lindsay Bellis from Jostens for outfitting us today. Thank you. Today is a day of celebration, reflection, and freedom. You're finally free to do what you want, explore the world, and make your own path. The days of cell phone bans and hat restrictions are behind you. In fact, Blaze, you not only receive a diploma day, but you also get all your hat back. Woo! You are free. But this isn't just any kind of freedom, it's the kind that you earned by showing up, stepping up, and growing through 4 years of high school. You started your journey just before our building was beautifully renovated. With the support of this community, Northridge entered a new era, and you helped lead the way. In our 25th anniversary year, you've continued to define what it means to be a Grizzly, shaping the spirit and future of this school for the classes that will follow. You've shown kindness, pride, and heart. I'll never forget the tunnel of arms that you formed for our unified bowlers after their state win, or the energy you brought to our cheering assemblies. You didn't just show up, you stood up for each other. That's the Grizzly way. Growth doesn't always look easy. It's often messy, unpredictable, even painful. Believe it or not, I was a rough and tumble kid. 5 broken bones, 10 sets of stitches, all before I graduated, and on my face and head. Every time my mom took me to the emergency room to get another suture on my scalp, she'd shake her head and say, "I just hope you never go bald." Turns out, the painful stuff stays with us, and often it shapes us for the better. Even the hard lessons, awkward moments, and yes, frustrating rules were never meant to hold you back. They were meant to prepare you for what comes next. So as you walk across this stage, remember, this freedom is not the finish line. It is just your next beginning. We hope we've given you memories worth holding on to, friendships that last, and an education that will carry you forward. Wherever you go, carry that Grizzly pride with you, and never forget, it's good to be a Grizzly. Class of 2025, throughout this year, your actions have demonstrated the core values of our school: self-esteem, improvement, partnership, and success. As you earn your final rite of passage symbol today, the domain of the Grizzly, I am proud to hang your class banner in our grand hallway, celebrating the legacy you leave behind at Northridge. Hold on to the Northridge spirit in all of your journeys, and let the world see what it means to be a Grizzly. Thank you. At this time, I would like to have those graduates who are first in their family to graduate from high school, please stand up and be recognized. Would the graduates who are first in their family to attend college please stand to be recognized? Would the graduates who will serve in the armed forces please stand and be recognized? Thank you for serving our country. Would the graduates who will serve in any of the medical emergency services please stand and be recognized? I would also like to recognize the many individuals who have helped our graduates on their road to today's commencement ceremony. First, I would like to recognize the amazing Northridge staff. Thank you, teachers, counselors, and support staff for nurturing academic growth, managing chaos, calming storms, and helping students build the resilience they need to reach this milestone. Next, graduates, please stand, face your families, and celebrate those supporting you today. Stand up, go with your families. There we go. Let's keep. All right. Thank you, parents and guardians, for all of your support you've provided your child over these years in high school. It takes a partnership between families and their school in order for every student to walk across the stage. Finally, to the class of 2025, thank you for being such an extraordinary group of students. Your resilience, spirit, and accomplishment have made a lasting impact on Northridge. At this time, senior members of the band, please move to your positions. This year, we are honored to have Perla Garcia Contreras as our student speaker. Perla? Perla is the daughter of Rosa Contreras Olivares. Next year, Perla will be attending the University of Northern Colorado, where she will be studying business and management.
Good morning, parents, families, friends, faculty, and fellow graduates. Class of 2025. My name is Perla Garcia, and I am so honored to be here today in front of all of you, being able to give this speech on such a special day for all of us. In my speech today, I will be incorporating Spanish for all of our Spanish-speaking families and students here with us today. Buenos días a todos. Le quiero dar gracias a Dios y al universo por darme la oportunidad de estar aquí hoy para festejar este gran acontecimiento mío y de mis estimados compañeros. Some of our paths not ever crossing or intertwining once. Yet we breathe a sigh of relief as we walk towards the final destination. I never thought this day would come. And now that it's finally here, I kind of wish that it wasn't. Throughout all my 4 years of high school, I have enjoyed my time at this school, getting to know incredible teachers and classmates that have had such a great impact in my life and have helped me shape into who I am to this day. I came to the United States when I was 12 years old, just right before COVID, not knowing any English or anything about what my life was going to be like. It was like when we first walked into this school 4 years ago on our first ever rite of passage. And yesterday, walking out for the last time ever in the same way. None of us knew what this experience would be like, and the many challenges that we would have to face and overcome in order for us to make it to this day. And for that, I want to really show how proud I am of every single one of you sitting here with us today. You all deserve it. Learning has always been a passion of mine, and I know how coming here and being able to learn English has been such a privilege. I know that I'm not the only one that can relate to this. Vine a los Estados Unidos cuando solo tenía 12 años y sé lo afortunada que soy por haber tenido la oportunidad y privilegio de estudiar aquí y poder perseguir el sueño americano que sé que muchos deseamos. Northridge has helped me immensely with my academic journey and developing and expanding my knowledge on all subjects, not only academically, but also socially. For the very first day that we stepped into the school to today, I can say that Northridge School and all the members and staff have helped us prepare not to only take off into adulthood and to conquer all of our dreams and more. Getting to not only stand on the stage, but to walk it has been a great accomplishment of mine, and I'm sure for all of us. I know that it hasn't been easy, but I do believe this to be one of the greatest times of our lives. Nada de lo que hemos hecho ha sido fácil, pero al tener a nuestros padres como ejemplo de lo que es trabajar duro, lo ha hecho mucho más fácil. Ellos que lo han dado todo por darnos la vida que ellos no pudieron tener. Este día que demuestra todos esos esfuerzos, sacrificios y trabajo que ellos han hecho por darnos la vida que no pudieron tener. Llegar a este día no ha sido nada fácil. And to my mom, le quiero dedicar esto a mi mayor inspiración, mi mejor amiga y mejor persona que conozco, mi madre. Mi mamá siempre me ha enseñado a nunca rendirme y trabajar duro por todo lo que quiero y sueño. Ella nunca falla en recordarme lo fuerte e inteligente que soy. Por eso mi mamita hermosa se merece la vida y más. I also want to thank all my teachers, friends, family that have supported me in this incredible journey. I would never have done this without you. I am incredibly grateful for all these 4 years, and I can't wait to see what the future has for every single one of you. Lastly, I want to remind all of you that often you think that this is the end of something. You are actually at the beginning of something. Congratulations, class of 2025. We did it.
Thank you, Perla. I'd now like to welcome our band to perform the song Blessed Legacy, arranged by Robert Sheldon. This song takes the American folk tune commonly known as Come Thou Font of Every Blessing and beautifully weaves it into this piece. The band will be joined by their seniors to play their last song as a Northridge Grizzly. As the piece is played, please take a moment to reflect on the influence, the impact, and the legacy that seniors have left on you. It's my pleasure to introduce you to the class of 2025's selected keynote speaker, Mr. Joshua Seamatter.
Parents, grandparents, siblings, aunties, uncles, loved ones, and friends, I am thrilled that our graduating class has so many folks in their lives who care about them so much and are here to help them celebrate. Happy graduation day to everyone. And what a beautiful day it is for so many reasons. And seniors, I mean, how did we even get here? This can't even seem real for so many of you. You're not in the stands anymore. You're the ones on the field. You're not watching, you're the graduates. For as long as you've thought about, dreamt about, hoped for this day, it's here. You're living it. May this day and your celebration be all that you've imagined. With everything you've done for these last 4 years, I'm sure most, if not all of you, will be able to relate to me about this next part. I'd like to start out talking about regrets. It's a little unconventional for a day such as this, but bear with me. I vividly remember in the fall of 2011 making jokes with students about how they could easily make amends for turning in assignments late. All they'd have to do is give me a Bitcoin. I'd turn a blind eye to their late submission, so they'd walk up to the podium at my desk and jokingly place an imaginary coin, and we would laugh. Bitcoin was an absolute joke. We couldn't resist the urge to mock this weird digital currency as though it'd ever actually be worth anything. Well, one of my regrets is not taking $50 over that Thanksgiving break and buying some Bitcoin, which would be worth $2.2 million right now. More recently, I regret not being savvy enough about the music industry to realize that all I needed to do was repeat fiend, fiend, fiend over a beat. Or for that matter, just scream out mustard. Both of those approaches would have earned me a lot of fame and recognition. And if those references are lost on you, I promise, just ask your graduate, they know. Beyond regrets that would have resulted in fame or fortune, I have some serious regrets about the way I've treated people over the years. In particular, one that comes to mind again and again is that while I was in high school, I didn't speak up when I had a chance to. The group of people I was friends with, the guys I ate breakfast and lunch with in the cafeteria on a daily basis, they used to mock this one kid who'd been in a tragic farming accident. They would say really cruel stuff. I still remember what they said and the mean tone of voice they used when they said it. I sat there. I was a bystander to this. I did nothing about it. I was complicit. I don't remember much of the day-to-day stuff about high school, but I vividly remember much of those days in which I'm sure he could hear what he said as he went by. I had an opportunity to say something and make a difference. I had a voice that I chose not to use. I stayed silent when I should have spoken up. I wasn't brave when I needed to be. Instances in my life when I should have been brave but wasn't. That's the kind of regret that really sticks around. Being brave takes on a lot of different forms in our lives. There are small acts of personal bravery up to earth-shattering degrees of bravery. I've periodically thought about bravery over the years, but it's been on my mind a lot more in the past few years, in part because of a book that I read to my son about once a week. It's entitled, Be Brave, Little One. I really wish I could show you the illustrations as well, but we don't have that kind of projector system here. Please know that I believe that all of these instances of bravery matter, and this is by no means an exhaustive list of when and how bravery should matter in your life. However, it's a really good start. When I look at you shining bright as the sun, I wish for this. Be brave, little one. Be brave to begin to listen inside to the voice of your heart, so truthful and wise. How far will I go? What things can I be? When I get to choose what brave is to me. Be brave to step up and try something new. Be brave to step out when it isn't for you. Be brave to stand up and tell what you know. Be brave to sit down and say hello. Be brave to explore in the daring unknown, and be brave to return to the cozy of home. Be brave to be scared, to stomp and to cry. Be brave to mess up before you retry. Be brave to believe in what you can't see with the ups and the downs that are all meant to be. Be brave to keep going when going is tough, and be brave to be still when you've had enough. Be brave to be with your feelings, each one, the happy and sad, the silly and glum. Be brave to be quiet. Be brave to be loud. Be brave to achieve and be fully proud. Be brave to be you on your journey begun. Let your heart lead the way. Be brave, little one. Be brave to stand up and tell what you know. When you're a little kid, it's as simple as something like show and tell. Throughout your early years in school, it's raising your hand in class to answer a question. But when you move beyond, it changes a little. There are social pressures that come into play where sharing one's ideas, knowledge, expertise, beliefs becomes more complicated. There's no need to be boastful or brag, but being brave to share what you know should be valued wherever you are. Be brave to sit down and say hello. This one breaks my heart. As we hear about the loneliness statistics in our school, community, and world at large, we need to talk to other people. Humans are social creatures, and that need for social cannot be met with digital media. This semester, lots of you were forced into doing this because phones were no longer allowed in classrooms. Your previous attitude was more like what Nirvana sang about in 1991. Here we are now. Entertain us. If class was entertaining enough, you'd stay off your phones for a while. However, as soon as you were even a little bit bored, you'd be drawn into the digital world of endless swiping. Once phones were removed, you started talking to each other again. There were friendships formed over desks in classrooms discussing high school student stuff. Students, you all realized in real time that there is much more that unites us than divides us. At Northridge, we see that there are seemingly unconquerable divides broken every year. Staff members find commonalities where one would only expect to find frustration and strife. The fandom of a few of our staff members would put them at odds with just about everyone around them. And yet that's not the case. CU and CSU alumni find a way to get along. Ellis loves his Duke Blue Devils, but he has friends who cheer for the UNC Tar Heels. Mr. Fulton's Michigan Wolverine pride runs through his veins, but he'll still be kind to some Ohio Buckeye fans. Mrs. Briggs loves her Kansas City football team, and yet she has friends whose allegiance are to the Denver Broncos and even the Oakland Raiders. I'm able to remain a devoted Kansas City Royals fan, and I still get along with Mr. Allen, who loves the St. Louis Cardinals. And for that matter, Mr. Norwood, who's a passionate New York Yankees fan. Be brave to explore in the daring unknown, and be brave to return to the cozy of home. Opposition is one of my favorites in the whole book because it asks you to do two different things. Going out beyond here where you have the safety of friends, teachers, community, family, into somewhere different and new. When you get to those new spaces, it's not enough just to be there. You're supposed to explore them. And eventually remember that there's a space for you to come back that's cozy. Maybe it's not a home in a traditional sense, but you have a mentor, teammates, or a community of friends or loved ones that make you feel wrapped up like a warm blanket. Be brave to mess up before you retry. Trying something, anything, is risky. Paintbrush and looking at a canvas, grabbing a dumbbell and seeing yourself in the mirror, holding a pen ready to sign a contract, or buying a one-way ticket. There are inherent risks in anything you're going to do. You can make mistakes, but those mistakes don't define you when you try again. Failure is both expected and inevitable. A mess up isn't the end of the story, though, because you're going to persist. You will rise up and try again. Be brave to achieve and be fully proud. Holding up the gold medal, displaying the A+ paper, winning MVP, be proud of yourself when you achieve at a high level. The naysayers and haters shouldn't rain on your parade. Fight against this and be proud of who you are and what you achieve. Be brave to be you on your journey begun. You is enough. It's all that anyone should ever ask of you. To be the you that you know you are when nobody else is around. The journey you're starting is not going to be easy. What you're setting out to do is going to be challenging, but we believe that you can do hard things. You have conquered yourself, so you can conquer all. You're going to be brave and continue to conquer the doubts and meet the challenges, but know that there are a lot of great things in life that exist on the opposite side of fear. Earlier this semester, we were fortunate to have local artist and alumnus Armando Silva return to Northridge for an artist residency, where he talked to many classes and conversed with students throughout the day, along with painting 4 beautiful canvases. On the prints he handed out on his last day, there was a slogan that fits really nicely for where we are today: Para mi familia. It reminds us to be proud of who we are and what we represent. Whether we honor those who have come before us or lay the foundation for those after us, we do it para mi familia. During your time at Northridge, all of you have played a role in this very notion. Done for the Northridge Grizzly family in both honoring those who've walked the halls before you or helping to lay a foundation for future Grizzlies. So many of the regrets that people have begin with should have. if only, and what if. Bravery will enable you to have fewer of those types of thoughts years from now. You'll meet the moments you're in and enrich your life and the lives of those around you. For all you've done and all you're going to do, best wishes as you bravely go out into the world beyond the den. Remember, Grizzlies, we're proud of you. And congratulations, class of 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Seamatter. I now present the Board of Education Vice President, Mr. Kyle Bentley, who will accept the class of 2025.
Thank you, Mr. Allen. What a great honor it is to stand before you all, the class of 2025 of Northridge High School, and share with you heartfelt greetings from the District 6 Board of Education. We're excited to join you, your family and friends, and the faculty and staff in proudly recognizing your accomplishments. It is my pleasure as a member of the Greeley-Evans School District 6 Board of Education to certify that each of you has met all of the graduation requirements of Northridge High School, as recommended and certified by the faculty and staff. By the authority vested in me by the Board of Education, you are now authorized to receive your individual diploma. Congratulations to each of you.
At this time, we will present diplomas to the class of 2025. Graduating senior names will be read by faculty members Mr. Adam Cordova, Ms. Brianna Ellis, Mr. Darren Eckern, and Ms. Joe Pranke. A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step is the motto selected by the class of 2025. Their flower is a lily. Each student will receive a rose to give to someone who has helped him or her prepare for this joyful new adventure. And now, class of 2025.
Michaela Lynn Bowie. Jillian Valentina Jensen.
Caret Benitez.
Ayana Sere Curtis Nesmith.
Lawrence Jude Martinez.
Adeline May Martinez.
Jordan Alexander Fernandez.
Bodie Allen Wolf.
Garrett Christopher Bunyard.
David Anthony Rivera Jr.,
Jeremiah Michael Hooper,
Bailey Diane McGeen,
Oswaldo Perez Jr.,
Sky Marie Escobedo Gomez,
Jaden Ann Welsh,
Rosalinda Bocanegra Tejeda,
Yulisa Yanet Perdono Flores,
Riley Glenn Crawford,
Neshe Neve Garcia,
Brady John Mapes,
Amelia Basilio Flores,
Ty Bailey Andrews,
Jocelyn Victoria Chun,
Justin Jacob Thill,
Valeria Hinojosa,
Lillian May Schindel,
Dominic Javier Hinojosa,
Long Quan Nguyen,
Julissa Violeta Luna,
Abel Jacob Evans,
Juan Marcos Franco,
Holden Ray Johnson,
Kendra Marilee Freeland,
Israel Aiden Valencia,
Kevin Hernan Flores,
Sage Michael Olson,
Karina Ade Araiza Soto,
Yahaira Magdalena Ramos Ocon,
Estrella Armenta Hernandez,
Maylene Esmeralda Bravo Del Val,
Edwin Oswaldo Bustillos Gonzalez.
Perla Cristina Garcia Contreras.
Jonathan Sanik Elias.
Joseph Rojas Vega.
Eric Perez Rojo.
Arisbeth Aguirre.
Emerson Antonio Gutierrez Zepeda.
Daniel Rodriguez.
Jose Alexander Cruz Velasquez.
Yoni Alexander Herrera Bucio.
Cristina Rosemary Lorenzo Bernal.
Randy Vicente Vicente.
Jeffrey Saul Cante Sosa.
Christian Hernandez Garcia.
Diego Angel Blandon.
Abraham Mesa Martignon.
Amelia Nicole Guest.
Daniel Alejandro Robles Salas.
Mesa Mohammed Jelani.
Alan Eleazar Bakiax Vicente.
Jesse Jevin Landon.
Brian Jesus Sanchez Uzcatagay.
Jose Elias Garcia de la Cruz.
Edgar Alejandro Gonzalez Luera Jr.
Anaí Garcia de la Cruz.
Diego Yael Gonzalez Guerra.
Avina Rose Santero.
Jorge Luis Garcia.
Davina Reina Loya.
Ivan Escalera Laguna.
Brian Reyes Gonzalez.
Alonso Garcia.
Taylor Jane Carlson.
Brandon Palafox Gutierrez.
Shiloh Star Grimm.
Melvin Estuardo Escalante Mendoza.
Lottie Scarlett Cardiel.
Landon Lee Simpson.
Hunter Michael Modine.
Devin Jade Benavides.
Aiden Seth Romero.
Eva Gonzalez.
Joel Austin Vasquez.
Jacoby Patrick Gonzalez.
Mason Christopher Bernal.
Grace Noel Nemsick.
Antonio William Galindo.
Amy Isabel Reyes.
Oliver Nico Fechner.
Veronica Noemi Reyes.
Damaris Roxana Hernandez.
Nicodemus Daniel Luke Bradshaw.
Ronnie Gonzalez Jr.
Julio Aldair Sebastian.
Sergio Carlos Martinez.
Carlos Leos.
Kristen Isabel Besmore Estrada.
Emma Lee Johnson.
Lydia Adamarie Sanek Ruiz.
Karina Jovi Isabel Barraza.
Ruby Angelique Rosa Naranjo.
Hayden Anthony Aspromonte.
Queenie Zen.
Alyssa Sierra Booth.
Ingrid Martinez Romero.
Liam Ethan Linnell Bratt.
Mime.
Jilliana Ray Utoft.
Ariana Morfin Romero.
Deasia Marie Higdon.
Jaylene Soto Soto.
Leelena Marie Salazar.
Sarah Ayala Velasquez.
Alan Velasquez Benitez.
Christian Moses Rodriguez.
Connor Jacob Roberts.
Hani Abdullahi Hussein.
James Anthony Rios.
Yaris Vianney Rosales Ochoa.
Emmy Jasmine Samaron Marquez.
Valeria Guadalupe Leos Vasquez.
Jenna Ann Garcia.
Angelita Leon.
Juliana Mary Louise Bielert.
Esmeralda Guadalupe Ramirez Gutierrez.
Diamond Asia McElroy.
Juan Edwin Pelico Reyes.
Dominic Xavier Moreno.
Maricela Magdalena Martinez.
Isabel Marie Ramirez.
Evelyn Olivas.
Daisy Lopez Pelico.
Giselle Marie Marquez.
Melanie Rojas.
Melissa Maya Fegan.
Juliet Alexa Villa.
Joanna Flores Moreno.
Carlos Rivera Fernandez.
Isabella Beltran Moreno.
Giovanni Arce Molina.
Melanie Castro Vasquez.
Brian Manuel Telles Almodovar.
Leah Ray Gutierrez.
Abel Rogelio Álvarez.
Persephone Sandra Vigil.
Jaden Andrés Guerra.
Yasleen Palma.
Carlos Daniel González.
Leslie Graciela Gonzalez.
Jesús Ismael Vega Leal.
Alexis Molina.
Héctor Manuel Ramírez Ojeda.
Diana Alejandra Juarez Morales.
Iván Gerardo Núñez.
Kimberly Juarez Mercado.
Valeria Pereira.
Malaysia Maria Ramos Vicente.
Isabella Rain Morton.
Carmen Rafaela Tuches Castro.
Parker Roman Norris.
Leslie Limonas Rosa.
Madison Grace Ashley Conyers.
Howard Macias.
Isabel Yvette Bailey.
Carlos Rodriguez Puebla.
Josie Lynn Judith Young.
Noah James Lopez.
Isabella Stella Griego.
Hector Manuel Marufo Rodriguez.
Presley Aaron Belt.
Anthony Joseph Aragon.
Aaliyah May Neff.
Alonzo Josue Martinez.
Isabel Weisberg.
Anthony Mendiola.
Landon Jean Harden.
Andrea Michelle Hernandez.
Dominic Orlando Moreno Jr.
Brian Mendoza Hernandez.
Blaze Swift.
Oscar Uski Oliveda.
Oliver Michael Roney Laurita.
Elijah Romero Cordova.
Josiah Braden Smith.
Carlos Zahavi Jose Felipe.
Ever Alexander Salas.
Wesley Alexander Duez.
Cecilia Paulina Gallegos.
Diego Alejandro Valle Espinoza.
Alyssa Jean Vigil.
Miguel Angel de la Cruz.
Joshua Samuel Zarate Pelico.
Avant Anthony Chavez.
Sebastián Hernández Orsuna.
Sebastian Alberto Sanchez Saez.
Gabriel Ontivaros Jr.
Alvin Zachary Sanchez.
Liberty Ann Gomer.
Karina Fabiola Abeck Palicio.
Dion Davis Miller.
Ana Tomas Francisco.
J. Neftali Rodriguez.
Maria Fernanda Vicente.
J.D. Elaine Vaughn.
Jennifer Silly Ramirez Casas.
Jade Alexandra Izaguirre.
Lady Yaeli Flores Aroca.
Mark Sigmund Tiongson Aguirre.
Yasmina Michelle Zarate Chuta.
He Kiboso.
Yanis Valeria Alvarado Tovar.
Guadalupe Micaela Guzman Lopez.
Jorge Antonio Marroquin Lopez.
Montserrat Flores Martinez.
Edgar Eduardo Zun Lopez.
Kylie Brookie Sposito.
Jaime Jared Terrazas Juarez.
Caleb Ryan Pritt.
Justice Timothy Pohola.
Brecken William Anderson.
Braylon Dean Carver McKnight.
Reyes Alfonso Ocon.
Ethan Bryant Swanson Montoya.
Jacob Franklin Lerman.
James Scott Fleming.
Jay-Z de la Rosa Buen Suceso.
Eduardo Antonio Cortez Perez.
Jesus Manuel Dominguez.
Nazario Alexander Carbajal Loma.
Luis Ángel Conchas Hernández.
Xavier Andrew Riken.
Pedro Avila Jr.
Kevin Arnulfo Cordova Galez.
Omar Lopez.
Gustavo Sosa Pinales.
Macy Sean Escobar Lopez.
Ivan Osvaldo Munez Momoka.
Miley Sheree Marquez.
Carlos Manuel Soto Frias.
Zulema Feliz Alvarado.
Martin Frias Sanchez.
Sofía Adriana Olivas.
Shamie Leesca Torres Harquin.
Gustavo Ángel Lara.
Jonderson Alexis Burbano Rodriguez.
Imanol Mena Rodríguez.
Juan Jesus Gonzalez Bocanegra.
Alyssa Guadalupe Medina.
Britzley Michelle Ibarra.
Brittany Denise Soto Chavez.
Kevin Adrian Momoka Garcia.
Jacqueline Arely Juarez.
Alan Chaparro.
Alize Nina Fernandez.
Eduardo Villegas Jr.
Emily Elizabeth Hamilton.
Samantha Ruby Ortiz Loma.
Timothy Joseph Bryce Longacre.
Brittany Stephanie Garola Cruz.
Naomi Jaylyn McClure.
Adelpha Cipriano Lopez Vicente.
McKenna Faith Whitney.
Laura Lopez Vicente.
Taylor Marie Davison.
Angel Gabriel Lara.
Jordan Mackenzie Butts.
Nevea Leticia Salinas.
Nevaeh Lynn Woodell.
Brianna Morelli Pineda.
Genesis Abby Trujillo.
Janessa Marie Gomez.
Jaden Taylor Jacobs.
Eliana Juarez Varela.
Ángel Joan Amado Baeza.
Yahaira Yulissa Perez Quesada.
Ashley Michelle Amado Gonzalez.
Hello. At this time, I would like to welcome Sky Escobedo Gomez, Student Body President, to the stage for the changing of the tassels.
Seniors, please rise. I am so honored to have the chance to lead the changing of the tassel today, but I am more honored to have experienced the last 4 years with each and every one of you. As I look out today, I see hundreds of faces of those who are about to change the world. So to each of you, I give my best regards and wish you a bright future. We have waited too long for this moment, 1,380 days, to be exact, so I wouldn't want you to wait any longer. Class of 2025, please move your tassel from the right to the left. Congratulations, we did it!
Thank you for joining us in celebrating the graduation of Northridge High School's class of 2025. Seniors, after the ceremony, please celebrate with your families. Before you leave, stop by the cafeteria for your diploma. Please enjoy your senior song and begin the processional out of the stadium.